This is the first video for the Project 3 within the Android series, and in this particular video what we're going to do is we're going to look at creating a tip calculator for, like, if you go to a restaurant and you want to calculate how much the tip is going to be. We'll give three options. We'll give a 10%, a 15%, a 20% option for a tip. And then what we'll end up being able to do in our application is we're going to type in the number that we'll have at the total of our bill. We'll be able to choose which option we want, and then based on our option choice it will display the tip amount as well as the grand total of our bill. So it's a typical application like you might find on a lot of different phones that are out there, but we're going to create one here for the Android for our series. And we're going to learn some new things when we're doing this video. One of the major things that we're going to learn is we're going to start working with radio buttons and how that works within a radio group, and we're also going to be looking at a little bit of formatting for numbers and being able to take some of the text that we have and convert it over to a number to do some math calculations and so forth with it. So there's going to be some new things in this particular lesson that we're going to pick up. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll double click on the Eclipse and we're going to go ahead and run it, and we're going to wait for this to load up. And mine has codes here from the last project, so I'm going to go ahead and just close that. And now what I'll do is just go ahead and create a new project to work with. So File, New, Project, and we're going to choose Android Project. Project name, I'm going to go ahead and just call it Project 3. I'm going to go ahead and hit next there, and I'm going to still choose the older Android, so I'll go ahead and hit next. The application name, I'm going to call this one Tip Calc. And then if you're following along with the lessons, you'll know that I'm just going to use a generic package name. I'm just going to type in local dot my last name dot my first name dot, and then what we're going to do is I'll just call this one Tip Calc. And then I'm going to go ahead now and hit finish. And so what we're going to do in this particular project for this video is just kind of set up the project like we just have now, and we're going to also focus in on the basic design of our graphical part of our application. And so in the next video I'm going to focus in on the actual XML and making some changes and so forth. So let's go ahead and now in this video let's go ahead and make some changes to the graphical layout. So here's the layout, and I'm going to go ahead and double click the main. And as you'd expect out of the main XML, you're going to have your hello world in there. We're going to actually leave that. And the reason for that is because I'm going to just modify the actual string that's in this one here, but I want to have this text view here so that I can work with it. We're going to move over some edit text objects now, and let's go ahead. I'm going to find those here. They're under, if I scroll up here, let's see, text view. They're under text fields. And what I want to do is I want to have one that's not going to be just letters. What I want is it's going to be decimal numbers. So if you scroll down, you'll find one here, and there it is, the number decimal. It's got a decimal value. I'm just going to drag that one over and drop it underneath the hello world, and you'll see that it populates that one there for us. And I'm also going to now drag over, so this is what's going to end up happening. The top text view is going to ask us to enter in our total. We're going to enter in our total in this text box, and then we're going to be presented with three different options. And so I'm going to need to move over some radio buttons. Radio buttons are going to be under the form widgets, and I'm going to scroll down, and here's the radio button. I'll drag over three of them, and you can see I've got those three over there now. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, now after that I want it to display a text view again, so basically a label that says this is the tip amount, and then display another text box or a edit text in Android. So let's go ahead, drag over a text view, and I'll go ahead and leave that there, and then we're going to also move over a text box. And so let's go ahead and move over another one of these decimal ones. And I'm going to repeat that exact same thing, because what I want to do is below this is just display the grand total. So I'm going to move over one more of the text views. There we go. And then one more of those text boxes, the edit text that we're working with. There we go. Alright, and so this is going to be the basic layout for my application. I'm going to make some modifications to this, especially with my radio buttons. I kind of want them to be horizontal rather than vertical, but we'll do that here in the next video. So this is the basic layout for Project 3, which is going to be our tip calculator.